Hello, welcome back to our show. I am here with Demetrius and Gio. Mike, your topic this week, and I don't like to go too much with the same topics week after week, but it's got to be the Yankees because the floor is yours, sir. I have nothing else to say. It's about the Yankees. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. Let's turn the hat back for this one, fellas. Take a sip of water.
You about to end this man's whole career.
You know, I had the pleasure, or unfortunate pleasure, rather, of seeing one of these games live recently. I was very excited, very great mood, had my vaccination card, was all good, calm, cool, collected, getting to the stadium. Yankees get down, then they come back up. They tie the game at the bottom of the ninth, right? The biggest joke made it feel like April Fool's Day had come a week after. Because lo and behold, they gave the lead up. Huh? What happened, y'all? What happened, y'all? Okay, I'm not even going to go in on Mike Stanton. Y'all know how I feel about him, but at least he came up to show up. You look at this team right now, Stanton has been ice cold for the most part. Aaron Judge is hurt again. You got Yankee Stadium with the judge's chamber, and ain't no judge in the building. He's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Waldo, red alert, SOS. SOS. I hear Ja Rule is trying to do a new Fire Festival. Maybe he's with him over there. I'm not sure. Oh, it gets better, y'all. Jay Bruce, yeah, the artist formerly, the artist known as Jay Bruce, the Met, then the Cincinnati Red, then the Met again, and now the Yankee. He can't even run. He looks as bad as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar looked out there in his final year playing for the Lakers. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a Hall of Famer at that point. That's how bad them knees are. Okay, get some pads, boy. Get some pads. Corey Kluber's going clubbing because that's what he got clubbed today. He got clubbed today. Okay, not even lasting 3 innings. So there's that. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is looking like the New York Mets of 06-07. And I hate to diss you like that. Michi, baby, you know, that's love, that's family. I wear my Mets colors because I love the blue and orange. You feel me? Beautiful colors, by the way, beautiful colors. But as I've said before, the Yankees need to win the AL East this season. They better win the AL East this season. And I don't like what I'm seeing from this 3-4 team right now. Now, granted, there is a whole lot of baseball ahead of us. And if there's one positive sign, it's that Gary Sanchez has woken up for the first time in maybe 3 years, right? Batting just below 300, looking like he's actually engaged in the game and wants to play. I mean, it's sad when you have to say that about him because that's how far he's fallen from the graces over the years. It goes back to my point last week when we were talking about the Yankees. This is going to lie on the shoulders of Judge, Stanton, and Gary Sanchez. We cannot put all of the onus on DJ LeMahieu to lead us there because we are going to overwhelm him. You still got these young guys like Gio Urshela and Glaber, and I think Andujar is supposed to come back at some point, but we have got to put a consistent game together on both sides of the field, and we just can't manage to do it right now. And so that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the Yankees. I'm hopeful that we get it together, man, because it does not look good to start.
Well, as you said, Mike, yes, there's still a lot of baseball to go, so it's nothing to get too scared about. But at the same time, the one thing I hate when people talk about baseball and like how there's an important time of year and these are games you have to win. The only reason there are games teams have to win is because they blew games early in the season. A game is a game is a game. If you win a game, you don't have to win a game later. If you lose a game, you then have to win a game later to make up for it. The only reason late season games matter, aside from momentum built into the playoffs, which we can all agree is important. You got to build momentum going into the playoffs. But the only reason they matter is because you screw up the beginning of the season so badly, it's almost irredeemable.
Yeah.
Now, the Yankees have not screwed up yet. They're only 3-4. It's not awful. Plenty of baseball left to go. Plenty of baseball left to go in the early season. This is nothing they can't come back from. But they can't be blowing games like the game they blew against Baltimore.
Yeah.
The only reason Baltimore should have that game in hand is if these guys are secretly motherloads. We know Anthony Santana can hit home runs. We know Trey Mancini can do everything, but they don't got anything else. I don't really understand how they can't close out a game against Baltimore. The Rays, I say what I will about them, a loss against the Rays is understandable. They allowed 4 runs in the third inning to the Yankees. They allowed the Yankees to get 4 runs in the third inning. The Rays, the lowly Rays, who scored 2 runs against Boston in their last game, then decide they're going to score 3 runs in that inning and then 4 runs in the next inning. How are you giving up 7 runs in a span of 2 innings, 9 in a span of 3 against the Rays? I love Tampa, but they are not a 9-run in 3 inning team.
Right.
They don't do that.
Right. Right.
You get 4 runs against a pitcher who's starting. How are you then letting that pitcher find his groove and then go from allowing 4 runs in the third to then going 4th, 5th, 6th? No runs, no runs, no runs. And not just any pitcher. A pitcher with a history of injuries and an old pitcher. I love Rich Hill. Love him. I am a huge fan of his. You can't be letting Rich Hill do that. So there is absolutely plenty of baseball left. But these 2 losses are a little bit unforgivable because they had the lead in this game. They were tied in the last game, and all due respect, they are a major league club, but it's Baltimore. Come on. It is not Baltimore of the early 2010s, of the mid-2010s even. Step up your game, Yankees. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, Santander, he could play. Trey Mancini, amazing comeback story, right? Take nothing away from him. But you guys, like Severino and Ruiz and Mullins, like, ain't nobody ever heard of these guys off the street. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? These guys shouldn't be able to wipe these brothers' cleats in New York. And they putting up runs like that. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And so I'm hopeful that whoever's injured gets healthy, that being Judge and Andujar, and we're eventually going to make a run. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But to your point, we do not want to be in a situation with arguably the deepest division, in the MLB right now. I think that you have the NL West that obviously also comes into play there. And then the NL East is a monster this year too. Still one of the deepest divisions, still championship pedigree everywhere you look. And so we can't afford to lose these games, especially against inner division rivals. That is the killer.
These are the games that, as you put, as a Rays fan, I don't care. Go Rays. But if I'm looking at it as a Yankee fan, you put it perfectly before the season even started. Yankees better win the division, at least. Forget the expectations, forget the history, just the sheer fact of the money. And you can't beat the Rays in a shortened season. That's got to give, I know how good the Rays are, but that's got to give you some pause. The Rays have a quarter of your salary, and they beat you. Like, that's gotta piss you guys off. And here they are doing it again. That will do it for today. Kind of an angry day for Mike, poor guy. We'll be back tomorrow because Mike gave us a perfect segue when he mentioned the NL East. So we'll be back tomorrow with Demi to talk NL East, specifically the Mets. See you then.